Okay, so we're doing it. All right, guys, we got someone in the waiting room. See how that goes? Good evening. I am Katrina Scott, and my co-host tonight is the lovely Brooke Griffin. We are going to be talking tonight about the importance of Emerald, rising to Emerald, and what that means and what that does, not only for your business moving from Emerald to Diamond, but how you can kind of factor in an additional income source through your spouse accounts and whatnot. So let's share screen and we'll get right into it. I'll also pull up the chat, guys. So if you do have a question, feel free to ask either there or wait till the end and you can unmute yourself. Move this so I can see it before I make it big. Okay, more coming in. Get to the first slide, that usually helps. Okay, so tonight, guys, we're talking about the importance of Emerald and going Emerald in 24 hours. It really boils down to Emerald being a decision. And most of you coming into the Diamond Dash, you had to be Emerald. So it's now building emeralds underneath you and what we call an emerald army, right? So why is emerald so important? Well, it's your first big goal in your business. It unlocks the earning potential, which is like when you buy a car. So you have the car, but nothing happens to the car until you get behind the wheel, put the key in the ignition, put it in gear and step on the gas, right? So emerald is that moment of putting the key in the ignition. It's kind of just a portion of where you're going, right? It's a stepping stone on the journey. So it does set you up to earn the team cycle bonuses, which is our weekly paychecks that we'll talk more about, but it's outside of your commission. So the commission side of retail is kind of front-ended, and when you become an emerald, you unlock the potential to earn a cycle bonus or a bonus based off of the volume that you accrue through your team and your so it also opens up our customer lead program. So once you are emerald and you start hitting success club, the next month you will start receiving customer leads from corporate. So they kind of go in a lottery system, and for those of you that are emerald that hit success club, you get generated these leads, which is awesome. It's just kind of like free money. When you reach out to them and get them to place another order in the following month, that allows you to make a commission off of those orders, which is super cool. We are the only MLM on the planet that allows that. Like most people, if you buy from, over the phone, or we see the commercials on TV, when those people purchase in those forms, they get dispersed to the coaching network through the lead program, which is really, really cool. So the other thing that Going Emerald does is it communicates to your following, whether it's on social media, whether it's your friends and family around you, that not only do you have goals, but you've got some skin in the game, right? Like you've made the first rank advancement, which means you're serious about this, that it's no longer a hobby, that you're actually working a business. So it also is the gate of team growth. When you go Emerald and you know what that is to open up that business center and actually start earning additional income other than commission, you know to teach that through your downline as you grow. And that is what creates substantial growth in how we max out our comp plan. So it really is I don't want to say the most important stepping stone of our business, because most arguably many coaches would say 2-star. Although as we talk about how we earn, as a diamond, you can make up to $2,000 a week. So Emerald is just the starting point, okay? So Brooke.
Okay, so what Katrina is saying about the starting point, we'll go over that into the next slide. I was thinking it was my slide, but that's the next week to cover cycle bonus. So what is Emerald? Emerald is 2 coaches. So it is a coach on your right leg and it's a coach on your left leg. And if you look at this, the reason why we put Emerald, Ruby, Diamond, and 1 to 15 star is just so you can kind of see the progression of what you need to get to that next stepping stone. So an active Emerald is 50 PV requirement, 50 personal volume requirement, and 1 coach per each leg. So you have yourself, that little green dot, and then you have your 2 blue circles below you, 1 on your right, 1 on your left. In order to be Emerald, they both have to be active. Same requirement for PV, 50 PV. So once they are both active on your right and your left, you are an Emerald coach. So we then put Ruby and Diamond so you can see what the progression is for that. Ruby is 2 emeralds below you, right and left, and then an additional coach as well. So this is kind of something we're going to talk about, is replicating this each week in order to keep advancing to like basically becoming an emerald every single week. So this is something that we want you guys to focus on and get done. Like she said, it's a decision. You signed 2 coaches and you are emerald. And I think that's it for that slide.
My hand was like sticking on the mouse. Sorry. Okay, so how do you earn as an emerald? Don't let this bottom bar right down here overwhelm you or freak you out. It is also a progression all the way to 10 star. And I've always put this here for my coaches because I want them to see the potential that our comp plan offers. So it's really simple. When people look at this, sometimes they can get confused or not know what's going on, but essentially this is you and your upline's up here and it's this tree that continues. But wherever you are in the downline, you're here and you have a left leg and a right leg. And as you add coaches who accrue volume from like 90 PV worth of Shakeology and 38 PV worth of Energize, right? Those orders add up and they start to bank on your right and your left leg, depending on how many people we continue to grow down in our downline. And the main thing that we need to think about is so often we get caught up on this strong versus weak, but essentially it's just 300 balanced volume points because so for every 300 volume points that you earn based off the products you or your team sells, which is team volume, and that's how we earn a team cycle bonus. Balanced, I say that because no matter how many points are on each leg, the computer's going to pull whatever side. So if there's, let's say 600 and we're even, 600 and 600. The first time it pulls, it's going to pull 200 from the left, 100 from the right, and then it can bounce back over here and pull 200 from the right and 100 from the left. So it can toggle back and forth just depending on where the volume is. The computer's super smart. It's going to do that for you every week. But when you start to accrue lots of volume, especially over time, and it's compounding, right? Hold on, I've got people in the waiting room. Multitasking. As the volume starts to compound over like every month that you hit Success Club, like you get 3 this month, 3 next month, right? That those volume and orders continue to bank and roll up into carryover volume. And that's how over time, if you are consistent with Success Club, you can start to earn, you know, as a Emerald, it's only 250 a week in those cycle bonuses, but you can see it significantly increases at Ruby and Diamond. And those are things that once we get past Diamond, I'm actually teaching the comp plan next week, next Monday, on how to max that out just with placement and really utilizing your volume. And I have multiple volume trainings that continue past that on how to actually earn that full 2,000 in a week. But for right now, you are focusing here. Let's just get to Emerald and keep the duplication up so you continue. Because if you noticed, Ruby was just 4 coaches.
I need to start
right?
here a group on Facebook that's a private group.
I'm trying to find who's unmuted. There we go. So you can see as when you're Emerald, 2 more people, of course, they have to go Emerald as well. But if you continue to sign 2 people every single week, you would be duplicating the process, right? Okay, so that's how you're going to earn residual volume that you can cash out in these cycles. Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about how to qualify for customer leads. And this is one of the huge benefits of becoming an Emerald or higher, is you get customer leads, and not only just leads, but actually free customers, depending on if you hit SC5 or SC10. So number one, you have to be an active coach. Your business service fees have to be paid. You have to be a paid rank of Emerald or higher, and you have to achieve Success Club 5 or higher. So there's actually one more stipulation, and that is that you actually have to have a bot account. So you have to have a bot subscription, which I don't think that is an issue for any of us. I'm sure we all have a bot subscription. So with the paid rank of Emerald or higher, well, with SC5 or higher, I should say, once you hit all of these bullet points here, if you hit SC5 to SC9, you would earn customer leads. These are people that purchase like a bot subscription. They do the free trial. They sign up just for a free account. And like Katrina said, it's when they call into Team Beachbody and place an order, or when they go on the Team Beachbody site and they don't have a coach that's assigned to them, they go into this pool, and anybody that hits Success Club 5 that month and qualifies for hits all these points here will get a free lead. If you hit SC10 or higher, that's when you start earning Shakeology orders. You get challenge pack orders. The only thing with that is you do not earn Success Club points, but what you do get is volume and commission going forward if these people continue to order. So it is a huge, huge reason why every single month I am like SC10, bare minimum, because I want to get those, not only those leads, but those actual free customers given to me. So I always make sure that I'm checking off all my things. In your back office, underneath Monitor My Business, you can actually look to make sure that you are qualified for all of this going forward into the next month. So always want to make sure that you check for this if you want to make sure that you're getting your leads every single month. Like, did you hit SC this month? Are you paid rank? Are you active? Are you paid rank? Are your business service fees paid? All of that good stuff. So you get those customer leads every single month, because that is huge. So, and it's free money, like Katrina said. So why not?
Okay, so how do you get there? How do you get to Emerald? Well, you guys, like I started the call with, it's a decision. Everybody knows 2 people that they can use this in their life, right? Whether it's the workouts and the nutrition, the community, just that extra accountability. But at the end of the day, I started with like asking some of my good friends to just be a workout buddy with me, right? Like if I was going to work out from home, I needed somebody to go all in with me to make sure I was doing it and hold each other accountable. A lot of people, I didn't do this. My spouse was not my first to sign up, but had I known what I know now, that would have been my very first move, because I would want my spouse at the very top of my organization, because if you're going to build this as a business, that's a very wise business choice for accrual of volume, because it works as a bank, and every time that you sign someone up underneath yourself, that volume would roll through your spouse and anyone that you've signed up as well. So who do you guys, the waiting room is out of control. Who would you choose to get there, right? Like your best friend, your mom, a sibling, a coworker. I honestly believe that every single person on this planet needs what we have for one reason or another. And that's why I say it's definitely a decision, because I still think of like people that are in my life after 7 years of working this business that still definitely, maybe haven't said yes, or have had excuses or anything of, reasons why it wouldn't work for them. And it's still something I continue to invite them to, because I know why they need it. Distractions galore. Please mute yourselves, guys. So starting off, if you have a spouse or a significant other, that would be the very first person I would sign. You can sign them with a performance stack and just pay the coach fee, because at the end of the day, it's all a write-off. And that gives you a chance to try other products or maybe fill your cabinet. But also, if you didn't want to do that, you could do any challenge pack we have. A lot of people do the 3-day refresh pack because they don't need 2 bot accounts, right? But there are still some DVD packs that would work as well. So just make sure you know what, one, earn Success Club points, because if you're gonna do it, you might as well get the points from it as well, like a 3 box of bars, or any of our challenge packs, if it were your spouse. But like I said earlier, if you have a best friend, coworker, sibling, mom, someone you see every day, sister, my sister was actually one of my, it took me a long time to get her, and then she was my workout buddy forever, and now she's one of my diamonds. So it's important to think about like how they can benefit from this and invite them to this opportunity. And I have week 1 here because this should not take, like, this should be the first week of your business, is getting 2 people, and then continuing every single week to sign 2 more people to continue the compound effect. So I didn't mean to go over your thing.
So like what she's saying is you go Emerald again every single week. You just keep going, you keep adding coaches. I'm going to sort of piggyback on what she said about signing your husband, because we're going to talk about that, I think, in another slide, going whatever slide we're on right now. But I think further into this, we're going to talk about that a lot more. But my spouse was my first customer or coach that I signed as well. And it is important because it does put him at the top of your organization. I mean, this could be a mom, this could be a partner, a sibling, a best friend, whatever, you decide to do, but you offer the coach opportunity first. It's not how I lead my conversations or my invites, but when I'm speaking to someone about a challenge pack or whatever they're interested in, I always add into that conversation. And just so you know, with this challenge pack purchase, you can enroll as a coach for free. That $40 fee is waived. So that's another $40 in savings. So if they decide, like, in 3 weeks before their shakes ship, that they want to sign up as a coach for the discount going forward, you don't have to go through the whole rigmarole of signing them with the $40, doing the refund and all of that. They're just there. And all of a sudden, all of their products are going to ship at this discount, and they can try other things. It actually makes them feel better about trying other things. Like, oh, I can get energized at, 25% off. I can do collagen. They're more inclined to try these other things because they have this discount, and they're more inclined to stay on the products because they have the discount. They're not paying $130 a month for their shakes. Now they're paying $97. And if they invite 2 friends to join them, then that covers their shakes, or there's challenge packs. So these are just some points that, we want to reiterate to you guys. When I first started, I was almost terrified to even mention it. Like, I don't want people to think that I was like pushing them to be a coach, but honestly, we're giving them this opportunity to save money. So why wouldn't we just suggest it to them? And at that point in my conversation, I kind of leave it up to them. Like, if they don't want to even talk about the coach opportunity, they say, no, thanks on the coach thing, but I'll do the challenge pack. And that's totally fine, because maybe down the road, we can talk about it a little bit later with them. There is a military discount. So if you are a military spouse, or even your dad, like your $15.95 fee is covered. So there's a bug. There's a form that you fill out. It's a military waiver, and they get this, their $15.95 business fee covered. So then they're able to purchase their shakes at the discount. So if it's like your dad or your spouse, why wouldn't you sign them up? Because you're saving even more with that. And then obviously, as a coach, you get early access to all of our program launches, which is amazing too. So, just keep replicating that, keep talking about it, and just keep inviting people to the coach opportunity, because it just makes sense.
Love it. One more thing on the military
Yes.
discount that I think sometimes gets looked over, guys, is if your spouse. So like a lot of times when we sign up our customers just as customers, and then like, oh, are you active military or a veteran? They'll say no, but their spouse can get that discount. So it's spouses as well. That's a new, I think they changed that last year or the year before. They kind of run together. But a lot of times that gets missed. So I ask everyone, are you happen to be military or a veteran, or is your spouse? Because if they can get that savings and not have to pay the $15.95, they also don't have to pay the $40 fee to sign up. So if they don't buy a challenge pack, that $40 sign up fee is waived as well. So just something to keep in mind when you're talking about the business and signing coaches. So another great place to start is if you have signed customers in the past, right? Like you just started, you want to go Emerald now, but you have a few customers that you're working with in a challenge group. I'm always looking for people that are doing what I'm already doing, whether it's on my social media or in my challenge groups. And I lead with the coach invite. One, because I bleed blue and I believe in what I'm doing. And not only with the health and fitness do I think everybody can benefit from our programs, but from what it's done in my personal life as far as bringing me home to my family, and making a significant income, all of those things. I lead with that because I believe in it, right? So we've heard, you guys have probably gone through the invitation process. We've done that in the other trainings. It doesn't necessarily have to be a 6-step invitation process, but what that is like engaging, the 3-2-1 messaging, where you comment on 3 photos or like 3 photos, comment on 2, and then just send them a message that has to do about that. Like those are all the steps before you just send the cold invite. And if people are already engaging on social media and doing what you do every single day in your business, those are the people I look for in recruiting, right? And who I think would make a really good coach on my team. It's like we have that dream team list, at least I call it my hot list of who I want to work with in this business. And if they're already doing the actions outside of maybe they like to run or do a workout, because they do attract a lot of athletes or fitness inspo people. That's what I want to talk to them about, is like, you can get paid for doing what you're already doing. That is an easy conversation starter, because they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're already posting, you're already doing your workout, you're already posting your sweaty selfie, you're sharing what you eat. Why not get paid for it, right? So I do lead a lot with the coach invite when I get to that portion of the invite. Like I said, I build the relationship, and it kind of is a process of getting there, because I want to have genuine conversation. I want to get to know the people. I want to know for sure when that invite leaves my phone or inbox, that it's someone I want to see on my Success Club trip. It's someone I want to take to my retreats. And the only way I'm going to know that is if I continue to engage and grow before I just send a cold invite. So look for what you want in your coach based off of what is going on their social media, or your people that are rock stars in your challenge groups. So these are a couple of just sample invites. I know you guys have had a few of these through this whole Diamond Dash, right? Of people who are watching your stories or loving on your posts. I always like to say, I'm just putting myself out there. And what did I say today? Forgive me for sliding into your inbox, but you're my dream coach. Are you already coaching, or what are you doing? Because you'd be a perfect fit for the coaching opportunity. And that had got a really great response. So I want you to be genuine with these guys. Don't feel like you have to follow a script. These are just to kind of jog your memory. These are obviously a little, I've used them in the past, but on a mission to help other women feel energetic again, or take a break from the homeschooling and have 30 minutes to themselves. You fill in that blank, right? And then people usually follow me either because of my family, my fitness journey. Some are my faith, because my kids go to Catholic school, so we're intertwined with that. Or a lot of people are just intrigued by what I do because I retired my full-time business as a photographer, and they're like, how the heck you were photographing in the Napa Valley every weekend? You know, they know I was doing very well. So how the heck could you totally retire that over 3 years ago? There's no way you're making that much money as a coach, right? And I'm very open about it, but actually, yes, I am. I've surpassed that income by far. Insert any income disclaimer there. So it just depends on what engagement has been going on when you start inviting, right? Like when I'm going through and I'm doing those 3, 2, 1 messages that I talked about, where I'm like, every day in my engagement, that's something I want to do. I want to make sure that I'm liking 3 of their photos and I'm commenting on 2. And then I send them a message about like, I love that swimsuit. Where did you get it? Just because I'm shopping swimsuits for the retreat right now. But that just happened to be one today as an example. But then I'll say something like, I think I just blew up your page. You just have a really powerful message, or I love what you have going on. Like, this is very tailored to the person. So I have an example here, but you guys, I really do not do scripts. I don't believe in scripts. I don't copy and paste anything. It is very much, other than my thank you for following me message, and I send a recipe. Other than that, I'm very genuine with making the connection with each person. And I think that's why the invite doesn't come across as definitely not cold. And, you know, it's more well received. And they're like, I love what you do. You're so inspiring. I just don't know if I could do it. The last girl just said, I just think I have the motivation to do what you do. And I'm like, you don't have to do what I do. You can do it your way, right? But all I'm asking you is be coachable and show up and give it a try. And that usually, it works really well, right? So when it comes time to, you send out those invites and they say yes, right? I always just sign them up and tell them, you know, we'll get you signed up. This is what we're going to do. We'll get them started with the challenge pack. And then once they're into that, it's like I just said, I have to ask, like, do you have anyone that would want to do this with you? It's added accountability. You can do this together, you know, even from afar, you can Zoom together. You'll be part of my team and my accountability. But by getting 2 to 3 friends to do this with you, it would totally cover the cost of the challenge pack. And because you're signing up for a VIP membership, you're also saving 25% on everything you order after that. That does not come across any other way than they are super thankful for the opportunity. And they're like, of course, you know, I'm sure my sister would want to do this. Or, you know what, my mom's been really thinking about this. And right now, you guys, it is on the forefront that everyone's like, you know what, my girlfriend would really like to do this because we used to work out at the gym together. And now that we can't do that, I'm sure she'd want to give it a try. This has been working really, really well for me lately, in that 7 years in, like, I'm past Emerald, obviously, but I strive for Emerald every week by using that phase 1 mindset of, I've got to do Emerald again. I've got to do Emerald again, right? Because that is the simplest way to duplicate this business, is just you plus 2 more, right? Every week, you plus 2 more. Okay, Brooke.
Okay, so we're going to talk about now what to do with your spouse. So we talked about signing up your spouse as your very first account. And again, this is your spouse or a partner or your mom or your sister, whoever you decide that you want to be in this top spot in your organization. And what we talked about before was the reason why we do this is because everything that all the coaches that you sign after yourself and your spouse, everything trickles up into these 2 accounts. So it just makes sense. It's almost like you're franchising yourself. You're opening a second business center before you're ever allowed to open a second business center, you know, before you're way before 2-star. So it just makes sense business-wise. And the reason why we put here is, I mean, they're part of your business strategy, and not faking it is very important because we want them to be involved. I mean, my husband doesn't exactly do the workouts, but he drinks a shake every single morning. He takes collagen, he drinks Energize, he drinks Hydrate. He's obsessed with Hydrate. So all of these things, like, I put under his account. So he's purchasing those products. He's not faking it. He loves it. He loves it all. I just wish I could get him to maybe do the workouts with me, but that's another story. So anyway, it's just part of, making sure that they are part of your business. And, he knows what's going on in my business. When I was pushing for 5-star, like we talked about all the time, like, what do you need? What time do you need, away from the kids in order to work this business, or in order to invite and make sure everything is set in place. So he's a very big part of my business, even though he doesn't quite work the business, but he's also taking his shake to work with him every single day. He is, seeing people at his work, and through his friends on social media, when I tag him on things, I've, some of his friends that he even went to high school with are coming to me because they know that I'm a coach now. So he is a very big part of my business for sure. And like we said, I mean, he's pretty much my right-hand man in this, even though I would say that he technically doesn't really work the business. We just kind of like partner together. So it definitely works in that sense. And like I said, he drinks the shakes, he does all that. And even if he's not present on social media like I am with my business, he's still walking around with his Shakeology cup every single day. Like, he does drink a cup of coffee in the morning, but then where he used to have a second cup of coffee, he leaves with his Energize and his Shakeology cup now. So he's out there, he has it at work. So people are seeing him do this. And one of the things that I did, well, when I first signed him, that was when we had just DVDs. So I was able to purchase a challenge pack through him because I wanted an extra set of DVDs to do another program. Now with that, we don't need 2 bot accounts. So if I were to sign him up now, like if it were me, I would do probably the 3-day refresh. So I got a 3-day refresh and I got a bag of shakes. So that would be the 3-day refresh challenge pack. And if you think about this, if you're a brand new coach, okay, so you're going to get your 3 promo codes because you're a brand new coach. So if you're in a BOD group, you get 3 promo codes. So you get one, let me back up. You get one immediately when you sign up. That comes in your very first email. So you get these $10 off promo codes, plus we're in Team Cup. So it's like promo codes everywhere. But I would say, okay, you're going to purchase this challenge pack. We're going to sign you up as a coach. I'm going to give you this $10 off promo code. But then what happens is you get the commission from that. So you're getting a 3-day refresh and a bag of Shakeology where it takes it down to $150. So the commission is probably like 40-ish. So you get that money back. So even if you did, let's say, just a bag of shakes, or if you wanted to do a 3-pack of Beach Bars, which are around $100, and I think maybe it takes it down to like 80 something with our discount, but then you're paying the $39.95 sign up fee for your spouse, but then you also get commission on that. So they're getting the discount on it if you put it in the cart with the sign up fee, and then you're getting the commission on that. So it all sort of balances out anyway, because you're getting money back and they're getting the discount, even if they're paying that $39.95. So does that make sense? I was kind of like, but I mean, I just want you to think about that. You're getting SC points if you do a 3-pack of Beach Bars or a bag of Shakeology or a challenge pack, and then you're getting commission back. So you're essentially saving a ton of money on a challenge pack, which I think would be the best bet in order to do that and sign up your spouse. So.
And it holds that spot. Yeah. I call it like real estate investing. Yes. Kind of how my analogy for it would be, like, by placing your spouse or a controlled account right at the top of your organization doesn't mean you have to build it right away, right? It's like buying that bare piece of land that one day you're going to build your dream home on. But if you buy it now and pay it off, you can build a bigger house when it's done, right? So that's kind of what you're doing with placing your spouse very first in your organization. So we're going to talk about it. Short-term strategy. So there's 2 ways to do this. So the short-term strategy is like sign up your spouse, get yourself to Success Club so you can, sign one more coach, hit Success Club, you'll start getting leads, and then get your spouse to Emerald so that volume rolls up, right? And then that isn't just for getting income, but it sets you up. Sorry, Brian, I don't know how to say it without killing her slide. For diamond, right? Because you're going to need 2 emeralds eventually. So short-term strategy gets you 2 more points for Success Club so you can start earning leads. And then it's only 2 more to hit Success Club, but you're focusing on getting to Emerald anyway. So that's going to be Success Club 4, and then it's only 1 more to hit Success Club. And then you can start building your spouse to Emerald to open up that second revenue stream so that you're getting 2 paychecks every week based on the volume, you know, of any other coach you sign underneath you, which is super cool because that's money you didn't have, right? So that will, you know, if you even cycle at $14 as an emerald, that pays his business fee, right? So the short-term strategy is definitely there to just get to emerald yourself, get yourself to Success Club, and then your next 2 people could go under your spouse and get that additional revenue source opened up. So there's the way. There's an additional source of income by doing that. Long-term, as you build, it builds income with little effort, because as you start to place your coaches underneath, you know, and your spouse is up there, it's all going to roll up like we talked about. It's something you can control if he's your emerald, right? You're not having to worry about people coming in and out of that rank. So it secures your diamond and helps you with that rank advancement.
Okay, so long term, actually, I'm going to answer a question in the chat real quick. So Rachel said, do you have to be 18 to have an account? Because she said her husband definitely uses the products, but she was thinking about her daughter. And yes, you do have to be 18 to be a coach. Okay, so long-term strategy. So secure diamond. I mean, think about it. If you went emerald every single week, like we talked about, where you plus 2, you plus 2, you plus 2. I mean, if you did that 6 weeks in a row, you would be diamond, because it takes 12 diamonds. And 12 diamonds, 12 coaches to be a diamond. It's 4 on your right, 4 on your left, and then one coach on each side is an emerald. So if you had your spouse as your emerald on one side, whatever side that is, I mean, that what she's talking about, like that locks you in, because you know that you're going to be able to set that up so he's not going to drop emerald. Like if you put 2 coaches underneath him, he's going to be emerald and you won't have to worry about that. Whereas, you know, if you sign somebody else and they sign 2 coaches, you have to, you know, constantly kind of monitor that. Whereas that takes that other side off your plate pretty much. You know, my husband is always going to be my diamond, because I monitor that very strictly. And so I know that he's always going to be my diamond, and that's how I lock that in. So, but secure diamond. So again, replicate that every single week. Continue looking for working coaches. So use those strategies that Katrina talked about on Instagram, where you're looking for people and keep them in. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but one of the things that we teach our coaches is to keep a, you know, and you have saved on Instagram, but just create a folder for potentials, or call it your hot list or your dream team or whatever you want to call it. But these are the people that when you have 10 minutes of time and you can very quickly like engage with them, like you go into this folder, you go into saved on Instagram, and you can just go through, you pull up that folder and you start going through and you see what new posts they have up, and you engage with them and you comment and you like, and then you send them a message about the awesome vacation that they just took, or how cute their kids looked on their 100th day of school, or whatever it is, but you're engaging with them. And then at some point, then you'll be able to feel it, but you'll be able to feel when you can introduce this opportunity to them, because we don't ever want to cold message people. We want to build that relationship, because you have to, like Katrina said, you have to want to work this business with them. You have to want to be a friend with them. And I feel like that is what I've found in my coaches that I've met on Instagram lately. Like we're like friends, like we text, and I feel like there's one of my amazing rock star coaches that just took off. Like we text every day and we're talking about our kids, and it's like, but I feel like I just met her like 2 months ago. And it's just like crazy how you meet people like this and they just become such a big part of your life in such a short amount of time, but it takes time before that. And you have to find these right people. So continue looking for working coaches. Like we said, people that are doing what you're doing already. Make sure that you're hitting Success Club every single month. Like it has to be a non-negotiable. It has to be. Add 2 new coaches to your spouse. So make sure that you get them to Emerald as soon as, you know, you possibly can. You know, you become Emerald ASAP now this week. And then as soon as you can, get your spouse to Emerald as well. And then we want you guys to think about what your diamond by this date is, because I know we're talking about Emerald, but it's again, a decision that you can do this every single week. That if you're continually talking to people and continually, making sure that you're hitting Success Club, it means you're moving your business forward. And if you talk to every single person about signing up for that coach discount, or if they want to work the business, then you'll get there that much faster. So, I don't know, do we want to have them? We want to have you guys drop, and once we post this recording in the Diamond Dash group, we wanted to have you guys drop your Diamond roadmap just to see where you're at if you're in this group, because I know that there might be some people that are just to learn about emeralds, but talk to your coach and see, set a date, make a plan. I want to be Diamond by this date, because emerald is a stepping stone. We want to get to Diamond and keep going, keep moving forward.
So if you're not, because this is for the Diamond Dash, drop it in the chat, your dates. Like, we obviously want to finish by the end of the Diamond Dash so that you get a piece of the pot, right? So is it tomorrow? Is it the next week? Because that's the end of the group, right? The end of February. So let's make sure you guys have that written everywhere, that date, and push for that date. Saturday, yes, awesome. So tomorrow is rank advancement day. So drop something in the chat. I love a live chat about who's going to rank advance, who, even if it's emerald again, I celebrate that big time. Like, that doesn't come up like in, it's not something that's announced on the national wake up call per se. It's not its own little rank, but emerald again is a huge thing, right? Because it's a constant progression of your business. So I think that's important. But one thing I do want to add that we didn't put anywhere else in here, guys, about just the spouse or controlled accounts, you have to remember the compliance, not to be wah, 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 and out, Debbie Downer, but it is you +2 as far as your credit card goes. So I don't want anybody getting in trouble, like we can't fund accounts, those kind of things. So you and 2 other people living in your household are allowed on that same credit card, in regards to, it has to be a parent, a spouse, or a child. That's it, those 3, parent, spouse, child. So those are other ways to think about it when you're like, oh, if I'm ordering, multiple bags of Shakeology or something, because of everybody in the household, it would be beneficial to sign your mom or your spouse, right, to offset some of that cost and get them in at a discount for the additional product that you're ordering. But it's you +2. I just have to always reiterate that. And I'm loving this. Okay, I want emerald by the end of February, ruby in March, and 1-star diamond by the end of the year. So diamonds in there as well. I'm assuming maybe April. I know that's 7 months away. Nope, it's always good to set those goals, but emerald tomorrow. Like, emerald is a decision. So who are 2 people you could reach out right after this call? Is it your mom? Is it your sister? Is it your cousin? Is it a coworker? And be like, I want you to do this with me, right? Or go through your customers, and who have you signed up for a challenge pack and been like, hey, you have 30 days to convert to a coach. Would you want to do that? Right? Like, today, make the decision, draw the line in the sand, and figure out who your 2 people are right now. I challenge you, when you get off of this call right now, who are 2 people you're going to be like, oh, Brooke and Katrina made me do this. Take the deep breath. I call it the Hail Mary, send the invite of like, I want you to do this with me. I'm in love with the journey so far, and I think you'd love it too. What do you say giving it a chance, right? And send 2 of those messages right when you get off this call. The last slide here is just the Diamond roadmap. Okay, so it is in the group. It might not be this exact one, but I'm going to post the recording of this call, and I want to see everybody's roadmap in there so we can cheer you on and we can see where you're at. You can just put it into Canva or even Instagram, type over it. You can put initials if you want to do it as a markup, as screenshot it, do it as a photo, whatever's easiest. But I think it's important with this week and next left in the Diamond Dash that we blow this up. Like, how close are we? What more do we need? It's a decision to get the emeralds going, especially if you're waiting like on 1 emerald and that's your spouse. go find 2 friends to put under your spouse, right? Like we all know enough people and we have this total solution. This is a gift. Like the more we talk about how much this is a gift, the easier it is to invite you guys. I did see some things in the chat here about objections, and I'm totally cool to open it up for questions. But if you're getting a price objection, I want you to talk about the value of Shakeology. Talk about the value of a $160 challenge pack, that all that comes with it. A whole year's gym's membership, you guys, that's like $14. You can't even get a gym membership for that. And so then they're getting Shakeology for a whole month for free. And honestly, speak those objections publicly all over. Like I talk into my stories all the time and I post on social media about all the ingredients in Shakeology. Like seriously, go check out a probiotic that is considered the most advanced probiotic, and it doesn't have Coagulus bacillus in it, which is one of our main ingredients of Shakeology for good gut health. It's the only enzyme that actually makes it to the lower intestine. Any probiotic over the counter doesn't even have that in it, and they're $40 for like a 15-day supply. Well, I'd rather give them a whole meal replacement, a probiotic, a prebiotic, adaptogens. Like start looking into the product that we offer and talk about its value, because I don't really get the objection of cost anymore because people know its value just by watching my journey and me talking about it. So that's one thing about the price of
You know, it's already on.
See. So I'll look back through the chat to see if there is any other questions really quick as soon as I get everybody muted. Okay. And if you want to,
if your husband is a coach, but
that's fine. Go ahead.
oh, I was going to say, somebody said if your husband is a coach but not working the business, do you bring your husband's customers into your bod groups, Facebook accountability? So if my husband says to me, somebody at my work is interested in something, they've been following you, they're interested, you know, even if they go under him, yes, like they understand that he's not the coach, that I'm the coach. So yes, so I would bring them all into my accountability groups. And a lot of the times too, because just to help with volume under me is if I have a customer that is just going to purchase Energize and it's not going to give me the Success Club points, like I would add that customer to my husband, just to explain, like it's, you know, we work this business together. I'm still your coach. You're going to be in my group. But if they just want Energize or something, I can run that through my customer, my husband. He gets the commission, but I get the volume. So it helps me cycle even more. So we're basically like, I don't know if you want to call it like double dipping, but it kind of is. So we're both benefiting from that. What else do we see?
How we get our leads to participate. So there's all sorts of ways you can do that. If their phone number is listed, I have lots of coaches in my organization that text and they're getting a great response. I typically just send an email, but I get really tricky with like the subject line. I've recently been putting "we need to chat," and it's kind of funny because I didn't mean it in the beginning, but I think it kind of scared them. And they were like, "What? Who's this girl? What does she mean they need to chat?" Right? And I got a response. So just continue to reach out. Leads are kind of hit and miss, 50-50. But I also know that when I send something for free, like a recipe book, I also have a Shakeology guide, different things that I don't mind sharing that are already created in Canva that I can shoot off to them, get a much better response than just, "Hey, I'm your free coach. Do you want to join my accountability group?" I do believe, just like with our leads, it's another connection you have to make. And you have to, you know, it's like jab, right hook. You have to give before you ask. And then getting them into the group situation is usually where they're like, "Oh, okay, this is cool. Can I order Shakeology, or you guys drink that pink drink?" You know, and it's like, yes, energizes life. I've also sent samples with a card because they're address is right there, and I just am like, hey, I'm your coach. I put in a business card, I put in a sample of Energize, and just say, you know, reach out if you ever want information on any of my accountability groups, you know, but that can get expensive. So you just kind of have to find what works for you on getting them to engage, and know that some will, some
Yeah.
won't, right? Not everybody's going to respond.
Mhm. I do something similar to that where I don't say we need to chat, but I say question about your bot account or your Beachbody On Demand account. And I just put that like ... or something that's going to make them open up that email. But I also do, I use Flowdesk and I have a newsletter, but then I also have one that goes out just to my leads. And so I do add something into that, but you don't have to get all fancy either. I mean, especially if you're just starting out and you have like, you know, your customer leads are coming in, just export them into Gmail and then type up a little newsletter in Gmail. One of my coaches just did like a newsletter in Google Drive and just sent that off to her people. And it was just like, it was so cute. It was like her favorite sports bra that she's loving now. And like, you know, added a recipe and things like that. So it doesn't have to be super fancy or some fancy platform to use. You know, you can just use Gmail, but yeah, definitely try whatever you can. Some of my coaches text as well. Some, you know, I usually stalk them on Facebook because if I know their name and the city that they're in, I can usually find them on Facebook. And then I friend request them and then I send them an email and I'm like, hey, I friend requested you. And so just keep trying and, you know, track them down. But like, you know, it is hit or miss for all of us. It's not just you guys.
And it's also not just the first time you reach out. Like I'm getting a lot of my conversions now are like people who have had the 3-month bod cycle 17 times, guys. And I'm like, I can save you money. At least do the annual bod if nothing else, especially with the price increase. Please, please, please. Right? So it's like, just know that I just keep them on, you know, my renewal subscription and I watch that and every time I'm like, your bod's up for renewal. It's your coach again, you know. And now after years of that, they're like, okay, she's not going anywhere. Maybe I should respond. Maybe that's their take. I don't know, but just know that sometimes it's not the very first interaction as well. So does anybody have any other questions? I'm going to look through some of these names so that I know who we're celebrating tomorrow as Emeralds, because you guys are going to draw the line in the sand and go send some invites right now. You're at least going to ask 2 people to do this with you. All right. Got to remember some of these. I should have screenshot it. Okay. No more questions. I'm going to stop the share and we'll grab a picture. So you guys, you want to do a boomerang or a picture? What do you guys want to do? Do a boomerang? So give
Do a
like
boomerang.
Yeah, do something fun. Okay.
There's a lot of people. There's 2 screens.
So you don't know what screen you're on, so I'm gonna have to shuffle through. So keep your booming going. Oh, let me move my water out of there. No one wants that in there. Okay. Screen 1. 1, 2, 3. Cute. Okay, I gotta save it. Okay. Screen 2. Do your booming. We're gonna go vertical on this one. 1, 2, 3, boom it. Oh, you guys are fun. All right, I'll put those up in the dash because it's way too many of you guys to tag, but then you can snag it off of there. I'll put it in the comments of the recording. So I'm gonna get that up right now. Thank you all for joining us. Let me stop recording.